Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Controlled Chaos Competition. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for stopping in. We are just getting started here. We're getting things set up in the background, so we will be a few more moments, a few minutes, really, before we actually start getting into the proper content. For now, I want to say thank you to everyone stopping by so early, as this competition is put in by Flinnshadow, who has designed it, put it together, and is running it. I believe he's currently getting the lobbies set up and all the players into their appropriate positions. That way we can have some good games. For those who haven't seen Flinnshadow's Controlled Chaos Catastrophes, they are a series of matches that are how do I want to describe it? It's ordered like a tournament, but it's got a lot of house rules applied to each and every match, and the house rules are not necessarily applied evenly across the teams. So there could be some bickering and badgering each other for who gets which random set of rules applied. Flinnshadow will be covering it in more detail as we get into each and every match. But let us see. For now, it looks like we're still getting the first matches, just getting the people in, so that'll be okay. Give me a moment. I'll get into the lobby myself. Alright, so it looks like we are still getting set up here. So it'll be a couple more minutes before we get into the first match. So I am curious to see how the chaos comes out this time. It's always a unique experience. But for now, hello all, and welcome. How am I on this wonderful day? Very well. I had some nice soup. So I had ramen last night, and what I did is I went out for ramen, and then I brought the remnant broth back so I could use it as a stock for cooking dinner later. It's going to be tasty. And then today I had a nice lunch just a few minutes ago, and now we've forts. And then we have more streams. We're going to be streaming all day with a small break in between, as we have the Controlled Chaos competition right now, and that'll go for a few hours. And then afterward we have our usual stream time. All right. Alright then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be joining in the Discord call with Flinnshadow himself. Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, alright, so it looks like we're getting things set up right now.
Yes.
So we'll be a couple more minutes before we actually get into the match here. I believe we have the first team in the lobby. In the meantime, guys, I've been looking forward to this one. So for those who haven't seen the Chaos tournaments previously, I feel bad calling them tournaments. They're not really tournaments, more of just show matches. They have been real chaotic. Like, no one knows the rules, and that's been worked on a bit. I think we've actually, well, by we I mean specifically Flinnshadow, has actually made a much greater effort in telling people what's going on before the event actually starts, which is nice, because there's a whole lot of chaos going on here. It's basically a whole lot of I'm going to say honor rules or like house rules kind of deal. So no one really knows what's going on until we actually start it. All right. Looks like the first map will be on a map called Amignana. Oh God, what is this? Amignanos. Amignanos 3v3. Oh my. All right then. And the first match. So there is no challenge for this one. There's no bracket here for us, so we won't be able to jump into that. Unfortunate. Alas. Ooh, some internet issues, my favorite. Alright then, the players are here. We should be starting here in a moment. It looks like we're just making sure that everyone's got their appropriate commanders selected. And then we'll jump right into it. And this is... You can do it. Alright then. Looks like we are good to go. We'd love to see it. So we'll be jumping into this right now. And we're off. So here we have the first round here. This one, right now the players are choosing their forts in which we'll start where. So Flinnshadow, go ahead and explain to us what is going on in this one.
Right. So for this one, it's actually completely normal, except for one small exception being, with all of the games in this tournament, you'll be able to choose your forts, so it'll make things a little easier if you want to practice. But for this one, it's just capture points, as there hasn't been a lot of capture points, and maybe it's for good reason. We'll see here, as I know Eden and Noah are particularly fond of capture points.
Oh yes. So there is an interesting. This is something we don't often see. Capture point, while being a vanilla game type, is not very popular, as it were. So we have what is ostensibly a very strange and, dare I say, chaotic map selection here for what is an otherwise vanilla match.
Yes, it's much taller than the normal. So I think we'll see a lot of buzzsaws coming up from angles that we normally wouldn't see. A lot of bridges destroyed.
Oh, I cannot wait. So, for those who haven't seen the capture mode before, the capture mode, the entire objective is to destroy the enemy's fort, their main core. That isn't different. However, there is an indestructible and impermeable door in front of the core that cannot be opened until the points are captured. We have this King of the Hills style system where each player has to claim these oil derricks out in the world, and once the oil derricks are claimed for a certain amount of time, you can see the timer ticking across the top of the screen. then the doors of their opponents will open, enabling their cores to be destroyed. And so this makes for some very different gameplay than usual, as map control is everything. And that's really about it. So, because map control is so important, what we see all the time is a large amount of buzzsaws, because buzzsaws enable slicing of wood, as we see here, wood being sliced off. And as wood gets sliced off, the connections to these various floating oil derricks are severed, allowing the other team to claim them. So most of the time, as we see here, we'll see the connections to the oil derricks, these floating islands, and then we'll see very quickly things like metal and reinforcements added into the connections to make sure that they can't be so simply severed by a single buzzsaw. Now, for those wondering, this is a tournament-style format, so we do have teams here that will be working together throughout the entire duration. Ooh, we had a disconnect there for a moment. And with it, red team has claimed the oil derrick away from team blue. Ooh, another derrick has been disconnected. There's one unclaimed derrick. Blue team claims this one. Well played. On the left-hand side team is Team Winner, comprised of Eaton, Firework, and Noah. These are some pretty big names that you guys know and love. You see them here. These are the guys that are favored to win any and every competition that they're in. They're facing off against their opponents. Their opponents, Halrasi, Nej, and I don't know how to pronounce the third name. It's got way too many consonants and Ys. So we're just going to let that one be. They are the Pro Bra team. This is actually a team that we have seen before in one of the official tournament. What was it? The last official tournament, actually? I think it was. So they are actually pretty fun to watch, and so far they're competing, and they're not out of it just yet. Currently, the left team owns 5 oil derricks. Currently, the left team owns 3 oil derricks, while the right team, the red team, owns 5 oil derricks. And it's back and forth. Disconnections left and right, and reconnections and bridges built to get over it. Every which way. Okay. So we have fights just absolutely everywhere. It's all over the place. So in terms of game status, blue team has owned the oil derricks for a significant duration of the game, so they have a lead right now. However, currently red team owns most of the oil derricks, and by a lot. So while blue team is in the lead, red team is very, very quickly catching up. Oh, looks like we just had a swap here. Blue team just disconnected and captured 2 oil derricks from the red team. Looks like red team's gonna try to do the same thing. And there they have it. So the 2 center oil derricks here are constantly in flux and contested by both teams, swapping back and forth as each team fights for them. Whereas the top oil derricks have been pretty consistently held. The top 2 have been pretty consistently held by blue, where red team owns the top rightmost oil derrick. And the bottom is, well, the bottom is owned by red mostly. We'll see if that changes. Currently, blue has just reclaimed the center 2 derricks, giving them lead at a 5-to-3 ratio. Only 90 points left for blue team until they unlock victory, whereas red team still has 277. Oh my. Blue team has just claimed a 6th oil derrick. For the first time, it leaves red team with only 2 oil derricks to their name. That's going to very rapidly deplete Red's defenses, and we're about to see it. With 10 points remaining and dropping, Red Team's cores are now vulnerable. We'll see how quickly can Blue Team capitalize on this. A pair of machine gunners removes Top's core. A buzzsaw aiming to fire at Red Team's middle core. Looks like machine gunners will take it first anyways. And only one core remains. Halrasi, the last bastion of the Red Team, getting sniped from across the map. Only 2 more shots to take it. 1 more shot, and I miscounted. I miscounted a lot. There it goes. And there we have it. Blue Team with the victory. Congratulations. So this is a round-robin style competition where every player gets, or every team gets to face every other team. So Pro Red Team is not immediately eliminated. We will see them again. And with it, we will get to see some more games from them, which I quite like. And that is our that is the usual style. That is usually how those maps tend to go, where it's a whole lot of buzzsaws, a whole lot of map control shenanigans, and then eventually someone comes out on top and gets taken out by buzzsaws. It's great. Tends to not be a particularly popular game mode, but that makes it all the better for this competition, a set of show matches. That was pretty cool. Oh, I tend to agree. It is certainly exciting to see. Losing team complaining about ping. Well, they did have 300 ping, whereas the winning team was closer to 100, 150. That is some fairly substantial difference there. The reason why we like to have a European host as we do this time is to try to mitigate some of those ping issues. But even so, we're limited in our ability to do everything. We're limited in our ability to truly fix the problem. The reality is, we have those 2 teams were from opposite sides of the planet, like straight up about 12-hour time difference. There's only so much they can do. The team balance may have had more to do with it. Yeah, for sure. As much as ping was definitely relevant, it certainly was a frustration factor. It's just I didn't see that match going any other way. You find high-tier forts super confusing. Someone must teach you, for the building style is so weird. Yeah, it can be a little bit skimpy. Absolutely. Much like any other RTS, you only want to invest as much resources into completing the task as necessary. So what you have is basically polybridge, but the minimum amount of bracings used. So people are always finding these strange and unintuitive physics and engineering feats in order to make their in order to complete their goal, their task. It can be quite difficult to figure out, oh, is this going to collapse? Is this not going to collapse? The answer is, if it's an experienced player, it's not going to collapse. Until it does sometimes. Having the different chats mixed on the screen is neat. It is neat. It is neat. I was tempted to do a different splash screen, but I figured you guys might like the chat. We could use just the intermission one for this. As there's a fair bit of cat herding, as it were, between the matches. Just get by and don't float as a meta. Oh no. You love this polybridge worms RTS. I know, right? Isn't it so much fun? A lot of people compare this game to Worms because of the art style, although it doesn't really play like it. It's more like polybridge with cannons. There's a little bit of Worms in the shooting mechanic, but... alas. All right. It looks like the match is made. So we should be starting off. We should be starting it up here in a moment. Just awaiting the players to ready up. Speed running a violent polybridge equals forts. Yes. And so it is. Alright, so what is the gimmick for this match? This is still the first round, so it's just vanilla, but you can choose for it?
Yep.
Alright. And we're off. Yes. Here we go. The players are currently choosing their forts. And we're selected. And so we start. So here on the left-hand side, I see the UI is showing brain damage versus brain damage, which I don't think is the case.
It isn't. This team just qualified a while ago as they didn't have time, so the graphics is going to be a little messed up for them.
Ah, I see. So what is the second team?
The second team is... let's see. If I say that. Rundfunk?
Rundfunk, okay.
Yes, okay.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that is what I'm going with. I've actually heard that word before. I don't know what it means. It's German. That much I can say. And they are on Team 2. Okay. So let me go ahead. I have planned for this just in case because I have faith in setup. There we go. Ta-da! Beautiful. Alright, so we have Team Brain Damage versus Team Rundfunk. Rundfunk is like radio transmission. Makes sense to me. It's an old word for radio and TV. From the context, I had gathered that it was something communication adjacent, something related, but I don't... Oh, Buzzsaw's doing a lot of damage, and with that, Team Rundfunk takes the lead, now owning 3 oil derricks. as the sniping happens. So usually usually the way these matches play out, these capture point matches, is the team who captures the derricks first usually doesn't hold them. Simply put, it takes a lot of resources to build these kind of bridges. And as you can see, building them quickly just means that they are very flimsy and vulnerable to being shot. So typically, the victor is the one who claims them second, because the one who claims them second has spent the extra time to actually get economy set up and reinforce themselves. So once the team who reinforces their derricks actually has the derricks in their possession, then they can't be so simply broken. So usually the team who claims the derricks first just gets quickly broken, claimed by their opponents, and then their opponents reinforce and solve the whole breaking problem for the rest of the game, or at least a significant portion of it. Enough of it that it becomes very difficult for the early attacking team to do anything about it. At least before the match ends. And this is kind of what we're seeing here, where now blue team, previously behind, is in possession of 4 derricks, which is kind of a lot of derricks, considering there are only 5 on this map. And the blue team is just constantly applying buzzsaws absolutely everywhere, slicing everything apart from the red team. The red team really doesn't have much in the way of defenses against this kind of attack. So they're having a real hard time of it out here. Who's firing between the sandbag, but one sniper comes in. And nope, never mind, buzzsaw just sliced it off. There is only a single derrick left on red team, and it's in this top right corner. Every other derrick in the map is owned by Team Blue and being reinforced by Team Blue. Now, there are still some derricks, like this bottom right derrick here, for example, which is not reinforced. So red team can still fight back and reclaim that one fairly quickly. However, they're being bullied. They're being bullied a lot, as red team has since lost all of its weapons. Oh no, the top right derrick has been disconnected. It's free for whoever claims it next. Red does reclaim it. We'll see if that stays the case for long. The answer is it does not, as blue claims it with quite a flimsy connection, so that can be broken. In fact, it may be broken here, as Banaba Man is about to have a pair of buzzsaws ready to do some disconnecting. But as it stands, blue team controls all 5 oil derricks in this map, and for it, their timer is dropping quickly. Banaba Man has managed to disconnect Team Blue from the lower right derrick, enabling at least some points gaining. How many mines does each team have right now? For each player, the lower right player has 3 mines, the middle right player has 3 mines, and the top right player has 3 mines, which is not terribly surprising given that they went so aggressive so early. Whereas the left side, the blue team, has 5 mines apiece, which is also not surprising given that they didn't go full aggro at the beginning. They went economy first and reinforced themselves, and then slowly pushed out, with the economy to back it up. Looks like their swarm missiles now built center field, currently owned solidly by blue team. We have a few mortars in the bottom right base, shooting at the top right derrick, which is currently owned by blue team. Ooh. The Buster active, causing extra damage on those heavy mortars. But the swarm missiles, they are swarming and they are mad about it, causing lots of damage all over the right team's bases. Oh, but the rockets from below. That's a triple rocket burst from Team Brain Damage. The lower left base has just sent a devastating volley of rockets into the lower right base. More than just disconnecting the derrick, it has done absolutely catastrophic damage to the lower right bases. Well, everything. If this lower base wasn't immortal due to the game mechanic of the, well, of the impermeable door, that lower right base would be long dead. It looks like the right team is calling GG. I think they're attempting to surrender, although at this point there's not much time left in this match, with 60 points left to accrue, and 4 derricks, about to be every derrick to their name. There's really not much time left before the blue team simply destroys all of red team's cores. And blue team already has the weapons in place with a plasma laser and 4 swarm missiles available. These cores are not long for this world. Lower core destroyed. And buzzsaws flying around. How long until the other 2 cores are taken out? Swarm missiles painted in the top right core. Only 1 core remains. Good lord, devastating damage. It looks like the final core will be sniped as the swarm missiles are unable to reach it. And there we go. Team Brain Damage with the victory. Moves on to the next round. Well played, well played. All right. So let's go ahead and get our next match in. We will be doing a little bit more setup for this one, so there will be a little bit longer of a time, but we'll be joining in on that shortly. Actually, I'm impressed. You had that already set up and ready to go. Okay. The rockets are pretty powerful there. Yeah, the rockets are always incredibly powerful. The rockets deal absolutely devastating damage if you can land them. The question is always if you can land them, not whether or not they will hurt when they land. They are absolutely devastating. Between the splash damage and just the overall damage. What are those blue zones in front of the forts? Those are unbuildable zones. They prevent any and all player-made structure from existing in that area. So you cannot build there, you cannot drop things there, you cannot swing things into it. It's just basically a disintegration field for all things fort. It just means that anything covered by that cannot be protected, really. We're doing Team Rundfunk versus winner.
Yes.
All right.
Still getting winner in here.
Team Rundfunk is Team 1 this time. All right. Did I forget to change the Twitch overlay? No. Unless there's something I'm missing. As we're getting set up for the next round. I'm just being impatient. I know. There's a little bit of setup between these rounds, but that's fine because we get great matches out of it. Hello there, Salzwerk. Welcome.
Well, it looks like currently Firework is having some problems as he managed his cursor to a white square.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, he was trying to make his cursor red, and now he has a white square, unfortunately. He's trying to fix it right now.
That sounds like the kind of thing that's a him problem, and we should make him play like that because he was doing that to himself.
Well, is yet to join, so.
Though probably Forts would yell at him for it. Your files aren't correct. Desync. Every time. The cat herding increases exponentially with team size when you're trying to cycle the lobby. Yeah. It is what it is. This is why usually in like large tournaments or large activities you'll have multiple events going on and multiple cameras covering multiple things so that all the cat herding can happen while something else exciting is going on. Because otherwise it's just a whole lot of waiting between tournaments, or they'll have they'll do commercial breaks between it so you get like 10 minutes in between. It's the nature of the beast, as it were.
As it's a co-op match, okay, there we go. Now it looks like they're getting back up.
Now we just need Firework. If only. This is the moment where I just like bring down my paint and I just start doodling on the stream. Drawing for it. So we could have like another AI running in the background just to fight itself. All right, it looks like the players are here. The teams are set. Match is made. Once the players are all ready, then we should be good to go. Can play 2 versus 3 co-op. That sounds like one team has an unfair advantage. All right then.
All right, I'm going to drag in the other players here, as this is the start of different mechanics. If you want, you can mute the other players other than Firework. Firework's the commander. I'll explain it once we get in.
All right.
And the teams are correct. Yep. Okay.
I imagine the other Rundfunk will not be speaking in English, I imagine.
Yeah, they won't.
Okay.
I'm doing that separately, but
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Wait, what map is this?
Elephants. Smek's good map.
Oh.
Alright, Firework, what do we do?
Why am I playing? I thought I was an observer.
Yes, no, you're not an
Firework,
observer.
You can't do anything.
I can
Please.
build right now. I'm building right now.
No, you're not supposed to.
Firework,
Yes,
you're
I
not
am.
supposed to.
All right.
You're not
Honor
supposed to
rule
be
it.
Oh,
This is chaos.
oh,
Yeah.
All right.
I did not know.
So, Eaton and Noah, the other two players, are the ones that are supposed to be building, but Firework, you have to tell them directly what to be building next.
Firework,
Okay,
can I
no.
build back to rounds?
No, you can't make back turbines.
He said build back turbines.
You make it a 3-long box to make your turbines.
All right.
Like that?
Yeah,
All right.
that's good.
Perfect.
Uh,
We need more mines.
yeah.
Make me a sniper.
Okay, sure.
All right, Flynn, go ahead and explain for everyone what exactly is going on in this match.
All right. So the idea is, it's a co-op match with 3 players in the same base, but 2 of the players are dedicated
Okay,
to
make me a buzzsaw.
Doing whatever.
After that.
doing
Sandbag.
whatever the
I
commander
don't have
tells them
sandbag.
to do. So you can
Sandbag.
see, Firework wants him to build a sandbag and a buzzsaw, so that's what they can do
Good.
now. But if they're not told to, that's not part of their job. Basically, we have one player whose only job is to give the build order, and the players are doing that build
Now
order.
you should make a munitions plant. No,
Right.
you can't. You can't
Right.
No.
So what we
Why
have
sniper?
here is we have 3 players per
Does
team,
Firework use the weapons or do we
all
not use the
controlling the
Pretend
same
he's the
fort.
We're
But
gonna-
one of the
Firework,
players
we
is a
use- we do
commander. He
everything.
cannot build. He cannot play the match. He
do.
cannot play. His sole purpose is to tell everyone else what to do.
Okay, what do we do next, Firework? What do we do next?
You have to make some batteries.
Make some batteries? Okay. How many batteries?
Do you want us
2.
to build a howitzer?
2 batteries? Okay.
No, you have to
No.
make it now. You have to make a metal store.
Okay.
Firework?
This looks
Get
like he
mine
wants
first.
howitzers.
I agree with that, actually. Let's get some mines first.
Firework, can I you build sandbag wall in front of our core so we can get buzzsaw?
No.
No. Okay.
Fine,
Make
everything's
wood.
cross-braced.
One commander, 2
Make wood, okay.
SCVs. Yes. Yes, it is.
There we go.
And kill those snipers.
Okay.
The phantom also. There's a fakes.
Yep.
There. Oh. Yeah.
the
I'm not used to
Alright, middle store, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, more mines.
Is the voice
too.
chat shared? Can they hear
yeah,
each
how
other
many-
in
how many
Incursus?
mines do you want
Yes,
to
they
build,
can.
Fire?
Although I'm currently
Take
muted,
one
so
here.
they cannot hear
Okay.
me. We
Okay.
can only hear them. Unless I want
And then
them
a
to
middle
hear me.
store.
Sounds like Wood Commander and two grunts. That's the
They
idea.
actually are phantom, okay.
Each team has one player whose sole purpose is to give orders. The other two just follow.
Alright, what now, Firework? We have all our mines and our storages and our
Build a
turbines.
howitzer firework.
Make a howitzer
Where do you want us to make the howitzer?
above those 2 mines.
Alright,
And then after you do that, get an upgrade center.
okay.
You know what's funny, Ethan? I was about to place the box in the exact same spot you were just placed.
Yeah.
So
Build this
interesting.
yet.
No. No, Ethan.
It looks like the left team is having a bit of a paralysis moment.
Alright, what else, Firework? Oh yeah, upgrade center, okay.
Where not much is going on there. They did place a howitzer, which puts them at about on par with the right-hand team.
You see that thing over there?
Which thing?
They're making a sniper.
Hmm, true. Nice.
Wow.
Beautiful shot.
Alright, what next,
Three
Firework?
lines to do, yeah.
Make a platform over that one mine in that expansion.
Okay.
And get
what-
four mortars.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Mortars to go with the option. That's going to cause some... I guess it could only cause panic.
You want us to place the mortars down right now?
Yeah.
Alright. Nice. What's
Then after you do that, get a minigun over the howitzer.
Okay. Oh my god, these turbines, Ethan.
It's fine. No, no, you can't delete them. No, you can't delete the sandbag out of there.
Oh my god,
You should
firework.
delete it.
No.
Hmm?
This just gives me anxiety.
Oh no.
What can't we do, Firework?
You cannot delete the sandbags.
I agree.
It's so many machine guns.
No. Why did you tiny door the minigun? Oh my goodness.
Go for everybody.
Tiny door the minigun.
No.
It's beautiful.
Alright.
It's not
He's
a
gonna
good
have to.
idea.
He's
The
gonna have
minigun.
to fix that.
You make some wood above that, above those boxes above the core, and then you make an exposed sniper to kill those fake miniguns. I mean the ones that are hidden.
So like this?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you make a sniper
Ah.
there.
Can fire?
that's good.
Can we fire the weapons that are over?
Oh, uh-oh. It begins.
Oh.
Oh, he defends it with the minigun.
And you can get gunners now, but you can also use the mortars to kill the howitzer if you need to.
Alright, I'm using the minigun to kill the gunners.
I can do that. I can start using the mortars then too.
And you have to place some boxes above the howitzer so it does not get killed by.
Fire, can we get
Go,
more
go,
turbines,
go.
please?
Fire the house. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, get one turbine.
There's no way that
More than one
landed.
turbine firework?
That actually landed.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
The mortar from nowhere. Just that wasn't even meant to hit them. That was just a distraction mortar. As the minigun does so much damage. So, it looks
I
like
shoot the top stuff up here. Yep. wait,
there's
this
the
survives.
yeah, there's...
Yeah, those are snipers, yeah.
looks like that howitzer's ready to fire again for both teams.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Ah, okay.
Solid hit.
Bus stop. Fire, can I build a bus stop?
No, you make a door in the bus that we already have.
We should see
Nice.
this howitzer being moved here in a moment to be
Yeah, I know. That's
to allow for some return fire.
Huh.
After that,
There it
you
is.
You delete the mine in the expansion.
And minigun.
Oh, which one? This one
Minigun
down here?
AA.
Yeah,
Very effective.
Alright. Do you want us to put a missile there, or what?
Ooh, gunner is saving its own
cool.
life.
you make a missile.
Okay, yeah. So,
You
use active-
make a missile.
hang on, Noah. 1 second. Let me shoot this to bottom gunner.
Or can we get more turbines?
No, you don't get turbines.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. With my kind soul.
Can we make more miniguns?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Alright, so that means another howitzer ready to fire from the left team.
That's a good idea, actually. Alright.
So
Oh, they're
we
not.
can-
There's one of them is 38%.
That's good. If you do that, they'll target the turbines down here.
Ah, yeah, true. It's nice bait.
It's
Yeah.
worth noting the team on the right side currently has
Oh.
5 mines, where the team on the left still only has 3.
I'm gonna let you answer that question.
No, they're not, but it feels like it. I'm sorry. Oh. Sorry.
That minigun is coming in clutch. It has saved them
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah, use the mortars.
Ooh,
Use the buzzsaw.
Use those-
devastating
yeah.
damage.
And that's good.
Hey.
There it is.
I thought
Team
I thought I'd do
Rundfunk
one using weapons.
destroyed.
No,
Fire
that's for a different
Wow.
round.
Let's go.
Yep.
GG, guys.
All right.
There we have it. Team winner Eaton, Firework, and Noah claim another victory. So well played, well played. So that's chaos. We're going to be seeing some more of that as these next matches come in, and the chaos begins, as it were.
Yes, Firework is a very benevolent leader, giving them 0% efficient turbines.
I was wondering, it's like he's just tormenting his teammates with that, especially because it's Eaton and Noah who are very, very into turbines. It's like, oh no. There's, I'm fairly certain he was doing that literally just to spite his teammates because he can, and for no other reason. It's great. It wouldn't happen any other way.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot, but we had a little swap around, and Naomi, Bonwell, another
Mhm.
name, is now hosting for every German viewer out there.
Oh, nice. So we do have a German cast up this time, yeah?
Yes.
Sweet.
Bonwell.
Alright then, so if you guys want to see this content in the native German tongue, go ahead and check out Bonwo on Twitch. It is the Bonwo. You guys can get chaotic forts in the German tongue, German language. So I know a great many of you guys enjoy that. All right then. Looks like the players are here. The teams are set. We should be good to go here. The map will be hang time. Once the players are readied up and the last little bits taken care of, we'll be starting. When is the next official tournament? Usually every 2 months-ish or so. We just had one last week. No, that was the AI tournament. We had one the week before last. So give it a couple more weeks. And then there'll be an announcement. And then we will have details for you.
That's interesting. It's like Team 1, which is pro team. You know, they didn't ban Scattershot, so let's see if they use that.
Well, I think we know which commander is going to be selected then.
All right, I'm dragging players here.
What?
Hello. Okay.
Hello there.
And 1 second, actually.
Welcome, welcome.
Getting.
All right, he's going off to explain what's going on. And then we'll be starting. Currently, Flinnshadow is double checking with the players to explain to them the rules of this particular match, this particular brand of chaos. Just to make sure everyone's on the same level, no one's confused about it. Let me rephrase. To minimize confusion when it goes in, when we actually start. Good God. One of the players on the Pro Broad team, that's going to be Team 1 left, just hit 550 ping. It was just a spike. He's down to 150 now. But, like, yikes. Alright. Are we good to go? Looks like the players needed another moment here to ready up, and then we'll be starting. It says 3 minutes. Okay. All right, looks like the players are ready. And we're off. And so we begin. Team Pro Broad Team versus Team Brain Damage.
All right, I'm gonna drag them here.
Oh, Lord.
Hello. Welcome to the bullshit.
Yup.
It begins.
It begins.
So they do not yet have a frontal turbine.
They're gonna try. Should I snipe?
So currently,
No, I don't think there's anything you could snipe.
I could snipe wood. Like,
currently
Yeah, I mean-
we are listening to the comms of Team
it's
Brain
really not a lot of
Damage.
energy.
You can. The question is what?
As a pro-bred team
Okay, so
is
they are
not
apparently
communicating
using
in
a very
English.
similar. Yeah, they're basically using the same turbine setup as we do, or something very similar at least. It's looking a
Yes.
bit more.
He saw nothing.
They disconnected from their mines for a second, so they sold a node here. I
you
think they want us. Yeah, obviously. Like I'm no, I'm talking. I'm looking at the opponent's base. Sorry, yeah, we
Should
can
I,
take
like,
it.
should
No,
I
obviously.
snipe?
Because I
You can set their mines. Yes, start snapping their mines. Yeah, now they're all
Build multiple
building
snipers.
armor. Yeah, they've already armored that. I think they're building their sniper now.
Ich take next, right?
You can try to
Okay.
snipe their.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boost tech.
Yeah, push mistake.
Sounds like the only real valid thing to do here. I mean,
They're probably getting a sniper.
scatter moment. You could try to snipe their bottom turbine.
I'm getting you a
if you have an
second
angle.
Sure.
Uh, probably very.
No, it's important to
No,
have.
no.
Unsurprisingly, Team Brain Damage on the
They're
right has
doing it too,
gone
they
with
know.
the
Yeah,
double
they-
sniper.
Scattershot
Or
commander,
the door,
giving
I
them
don't
those
Yeah, set it
sweet,
on tiny
juicy
dot. Oh,
double
yeah.
shot snipers. And
Yep.
oh, does he sell it
Oh,
off in
look.
time?
Fuck.
No, it's
Yeah, he
okay,
does.
perfect.
Okay. So
Yep, and
tiny
now they're
door
sniping,
sniper is
nothing else.
beating out
They
the
built.
regular.
I don't know what that
the,
is.
exposed sniper.
Could be a weird gunner
Assault
trench. Could be a. If that's a mortar, that would be very sus.
Oh, we should build storage.
Should.
Floating. Not good.
That's not good.
Very.
EMP incoming, nice. You got something. You got a gunner. So EMP in the lower boxes. So it seems okay. EMP is directly in front of their core.
Good God.
Nice.
Double shot
Yes.
sniper clearing the EMP
T2
and the
T2
launcher
spot,
in a
T2
single
spot.
shot. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Do we just
Prepare.
build it on top?
Worth
Help
noting
you
that
build it
the
to code- I don't know what-
right team, that's Team
actually,
Brain
it's
Damage, the
gonna get
teams whose comms that we're listening to,
Like build them out
has
before we
gone
float.
up to 6
Yeah,
mines,
Yeah,
Bad,
compared
just-
to Pro Blood teams only
Place it
5.
down.
Okay.
Place it. Yes, good. Okay, so they are still just sniping. They have no cover doors.
Oh yeah, bro. I was
We
gonna
get
get
boost?
laser.
I think we should
tech
get brass, right? Paladins
Yeah.
will get boost.
I'll build a spot.
If
Or
you
there.
get a perfect angle, you might even. I don't know. No, that's probably not a good idea. Nice, you got it. Top sniper's gone.
Very good. That probably is a flag.
Yeah,
They rebuilt
most
the
likely.
sniper.
I think so.
Okay,
Nothing
another
there.
boost. Oh yes, sniper.
Yours. Yeah, snipe the turbines. You're at angle now. Oh yeah, this is so annoying.
Oh, jeez.
They try
And
to cover now. Yeah,
immediately
they
they
cover.
cover.
Oh, they're Arky. They're Arky.
They are Arky, yes, definitely.
Should I
That
go
was-
boost? I'm thinking we're gonna go boost, right?
There's the
yeah.
call.
Yeah, that's-
Wait for double boost.
Yeah.
Right hand team, Team Brain Damage, just
Well,
figured out
they are
that
Arky.
that
Double
the
boost.
left team is
Buffalo.
Architect.
We could, because I just... Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
We're
like-
before we're floating, definitely do so.
Okay.
Especially if
Buzz
they
is not ready.
intend-
Want me to fire?
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe. Yes, very good.
Ooh,
Only
that's a
one
lot of
snipe, though.
damage.
Try to snipe
It's
their.
fine, we snipe. They may be Arky, but we're
Continue
scattered,
with
so...
bussoing. They try to rebuild. Oh my
Right,
god.
I'm thinking
Snap the
I'm
mines,
gonna
snap
get
the mines.
the 20 spot, right? Like below
Yes.
the core.
Snap the mine.
LP,
you
you,
build
get
20
the
mils.
20 spot. Vortex, try to
Build the
fuck
20
that-
mils, I'm gonna
fuck with
snipe.
them.
They're so aggressive. The snipers
Also,
and
I'm pretty
buzzsaws.
sure Incursus is streaming right now, so...
Yeah,
avoid
sorry, I
Incursus.
said sorry, I said sorry.
Oh
Not
no.
gonna happen again. You could snipe
Well, I
their
don't believe that one, but
mines.
Open mines, yeah.
we'll see.
As I'm failing to do.
Is knowing the commander of the opposing team a huge thing? Yes.
We should build more.
Depending on the commander, it can dramatically change how
Anyway, what's their big plan?
I don't
how
know.
you react to things.
Only fact I can probably tell is that we delayed them
Yes, very.
So,
by quite. Okay, so they build sandbag spots now. Sandbags
I
down.
think I should wait for the next 20 before shooting
is a
Buzzsaw again.
Try to
Beautiful sandbag
buzzsaw
positions, by
below
the way.
their
Get the next 20.
sandbags. Sandbags heavy. I think their base including their sandbag defense, might break when you bust torpedo it.
Where?
Below the
Sandbag
bus,
defense.
below the sandbags. They haven't. Oh, now they placed the sandbags, bro.
Should we just double bust
Sandbags
into
in
the
the
sandbag
middle,
wall?
Oh, never mind.
Should we just sandbag, double sandbag into the sandbag wall?
We have an
double bust
up-
into the sandbag wall?
We have an upgrade center. Like,
Oh, that's also.
Yeah.
that's
By the
also
way,
good.
you were not prepared for heavy weapon hits, so
I'm gonna get defense.
we definitely should get some defense.
There's the call.
We delayed them by a lot, but
Yeah. I think
don't
I'm
wanna
just
bet on
gonna
it.
go double boost.
yeah, sure. Where?
yeah.
There.
Nice.
Good
No.
lord.
Just,
nice
think we're
damage.
gonna-
Yeah, no, not a thing.
Where do
So
you think they're
the
building weapons?
team brain damage on the
Good
right
question.
does
Anyway,
have
more 20 mils, I guess.
20 mils already
Can't really
ready to
tell
fire.
where. It's gonna
They can
probably
fire
gonna
them
be,
at any
Yeah,
time.
it's probably gonna be below their core, like centered below their core. There's some background there that might give away something.
They called it.
I'm just upgrading our mines if we're not going to be using our eco for anything else.
Yeah, sure. You could get a machine gunner to get rid of some sandbags.
Yeah, I already did.
One would... Oh yeah, that's perfect.
I mean, that you
double
didn't
boost
say
again?
it. Yeah, sure, where?
Not
Double a little bit
just
lower,
follow.
like there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're building a 20. They're building plasmas.
Yes.
So,
that
should we
would
sell
be 20
the front setup?
That might
That
be
is
20 mils
such a
as well.
plasma.
Yeah, but that's plasma.
Should we sell the setup for like the sniper and shit so we can actually like, shoot?
Yeah, obviously, we want to. We have the under the like. Make the minigunners ready to fire. Because we want to.
Yeah, we have map control. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm just saying so we
just
can
wanna
actually
avoid
use the.
That's bad. I don't want to sell that.
Okay. Before you build more doors, just fire the 20 mils now.
Yes, I am.
First
very
miniguns and then. That's not the best spot though.
I think I'm going to wait again for the
But
next
yeah, wait
mini.
for the active, then fire miniguns.
We
because
have the
then there
active
will be-
fire.
Okay,
Yeah, no, wait,
activate,
fire
then
miniguns
miniguns.
first.
Oh, I meant activate, then fire. Okay, yeah, anyway.
Whoa.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
so-
Hit.
Please defend the 20 mils. Their
Yeah.
plasmas are
Like,
probably already almost done.
Even is this defense setup? Like this 20 mil entire setup is horrible.
Yeah, that's because like I built it inside another weapon.
Yeah,
So
let me
that-
just see
Yeah.
if I can't drag some bracings, you know.
Look at this base. It's so
you get
so
boss again?
deformed.
Yeah,
Yes.
get
of
it
course.
be, yeah, maybe there.
It's fine if we get it in defense. There's not enough damage on that.
By the way, we snipe their plasmas once they open the door.
Keep the, yeah, exactly. What the hell was that?
I was too low. That was
Maybe
just
get
what
a,
that
maybe
was.
get another machine gun, minigun.
All 20? Because we have the money for all 20.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
just
20,
excited
obviously.
listening to these
Yeah.
comms.
If you have the money for
Damage.
20s, build 20s, sorry. I'm curious when they're gonna fire their plasma. Keep up the annoying
Lower.
with miniguns, even if it's
Sure,
just for...
I'm gonna fire the bus into the woodspam, right? And then just
fire
double...
the machine guns first, machine guns first.
Yeah.
And now.
Right there.
Yes!
Oh, that's such a big hit.
And now...
No,
I
don't fire
know.
them.
No, don't fire them. We don't have active.
No, that's not the point.
Keep the machine gun pressure up. Yep,
Okay,
that
here's...
is.
Wait, they fired early.
Close, almost.
Also, they were just
I
trying
think
to
I'm just gonna
disconnect us
That's
from
all
our mine.
perfect. Yes. They might just try
Active?
that, yeah.
Wait for
I think we're gonna
wait
wait for next
for-
bus, right?
Wait for next bus saw, and then activate first, then fire the machine guns, because then we will absolutely get rid of all the sandbags, because they will be very precise.
Fair.
Okay, now bus saw. Active machine guns.
Sure, here.
Yes.
No, kill him.
Please open
Ooh.
doors, open, start sniping. No shit. Rebuild the bus.
Ooh.
Okay, bus is already...
Did
Use the
so
bus
much.
to get rid of the wood so we can... Yes, okay.
Okay, our third 20 mils
So
open now.
very close.
Sniper, counter snipe please.
Oh shit.
We need to counter snipe their bottom. Shit. They start counter sniping. Oh my god.
Uh-oh, they're losing map control.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
what?
they literally just... Are you kidding me? Yeah, this... Okay,
Killed a
this
sniper.
worked.
Okay.
We
Okay,
should...
they're upgrading things.
Yeah.
Upgrading
Most
the
like...
eco.
Yeah. Yeah, eco. We should get
Anyway.
more miniguns. Will probably
We
help
should,
because...
like, get a better door setup.
Yeah, that as well. Okay, so what does it look like? Yes, not enough. They have several layers of
Sniper's back,
sandbags
sniper's
now.
back.
Yeah, sniper's back. It's gone.
All right. So once
Should we
red
just
team,
recreate
Still.
and
Yeah,
shoot all
I
our-
think
this is just.
as long as we
I'm just getting
don't
carried away
they're
listening
about
to
to-
their
they're about
comms.
to
I'm
start
sorry,
firing.
not
Yep.
saying much because
don't open any
Don't
doors
need
now
to.
and prepare to counter snipe. Oh my god, they literally fight against their own sandbags.
Okay.
And then, should we just like active?
Ooh, oh
I
no,
hit
no,
one.
what the hell?
The fuck?
Oh.
What? Okay, that's
Legal
interesting.
angle.
That was very interesting.
what?
I need to see that.
we
really
just
quick.
saw
I
that
did
one.
not see that spot.
Oh
Where the
no!
fuck did they pull out our core bracing?
Yes.
It was a one.
How? I'm sorry, I have to watch that in the replay. That's
Yeah,
that
was a
shot was.
turnaround.
I did not see that one coming at all. Like I think I can see where that hit, but that hit between horizontal. It had to have hit between horizontal bracings. It didn't. All right, what happened here? Slow it down to 1/8 speed. Watch. It did. The laser sweeped up and broke. No. Oh. They just didn't reinforce their base enough, and it just ripped off the top. Okay. Yeah. All right. They were relying on their forward 20s in their doors in order to keep the rest of the base intact. So I could show this here if we zoom back before everything was on fire. This one strut here, this forwardmost 20 mil door, what happened was this guy was keeping the entire base intact. Once it broke, there was too much weight for the rest of the rest of this dangly bit, so it all rotated back, pulling additional weights onto these top two, well, all of these braces here. And that was just too much for the wooden braces. So it all just snapped and ripped the entire base off of it. It is a little bit unexpected that it ripped in this diagonal pattern where it took the core with it, but like that would it's still a catastrophic point of failure there in the base layout, which is what they were mentioning. We did hear them mention that a couple times. Saying, this is horrible. Who did this? Why are you like this? But there it is. There's the consequence. And so, Pro Broad Team survives and takes the victory. Flinnshadow. Was this one not on the list of maps that everyone had to download?
It was, but I added it fairly late, so.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say, because like 30 minutes before, I made sure to double check and downloaded them all. Oh no. Would some ropes have been sufficient to hold the fort together? I mean, there's a lot of things that would have been sufficient to hold the rope to hold the fort together. It is possible to use ropes for that. Ropes are a tool which can hold things together. More background bracing would have been more effective. Yes, generally yes. You can get your stability tech to hold things together. Solves a whole lot of problems. Alright, so now it is Team Winner with Eaton, Noah, and Firevuk versus Team Brain Damage. We'll see how this one works out. We're doing the commander bans right now, so it'll be another moment before we get into the match.
So I did the commander bans a little differently in that they can choose to ban however they want, really. And what they've done, what Team Brain Damage has done, is they've banned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 commanders. So very large restriction.
That's a fairly large restriction, yes. That's, I didn't see that one coming. What did they trade for banning 10 commanders?
Not banning on the other maps.
Yeah. You gotta wonder, like, why would you want to ban 10 commanders? The reality is there's only like 4, maybe 5 commanders that are gonna get used anyways. Interesting.
I should have explained them a little better.
Alright. So once we actually get into the match, we'll have you explain what is actually going on. Because we do have a different set of rules this time. Yes?
Yes.
What if you ban 12 commanders is to win? No, you can play without commanders. Also, shout out to Crazy Moose coming in and throwing his super chat up on top, throwing the 100 out there, putting his name and claiming his top spot on the chat window for the foreseeable future. Thank you, Crazy Moose coming in with that support. As you guys know, I do not have the alerts enabled during the actual events, during the casting and such, because that's when we focus on the content, because these are show matches where we focus on the content itself. But thank you so much, Crazy Moose, showing us who's boss around here. Also, welcome to the chat. Alright, looks like we are ready to go. Time's up. Let's do this. All right. And we're off. Okay, so this one is weird, and we have a special mod enabled for this one. Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead and explain that.
Assuming it is working correctly, as I'm not 100% confident, it works such. You can basically the third player. You can see there's 2 players. They're the normal bases, but the third player is able to fire either of their weapons. So, you know, the gunners that are firing right now, that's the third teammate. That's Eaton right now. That's firing those gunners. That's not Noah. And of course, Noah himself isn't actually allowed to fire his weapons. So it's basically one commander player is able to fire all the weapons and burst fire them and control the entire, aspect of the game.
So that's pretty cool. So the way that works is basically there are 3 players per team. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is otherwise a standard team deathmatch where Firework, let's say in the top right, he owns this fort and he does everything in this fort. Noah in the bottom right owns that fort and does everything in that fort. But there's a third player on the team who does nothing but fire weapons. Correct?
Yes, I am a little surprised that they're not building mass snipers, as you can group as many of them as you want. You can group 10 of them in a large wall and just completely cleave through bases. So
Interesting.
we'll see if that happens, but
Does this mod have the focus fire quirk, or is it just group fire?
it's
As in,
purely it's basically what the AI does. So it separately fires each one. It's a little different. As far as I know, it doesn't shoot itself or anything like that. So
Okay, because I know there's another mod that does what's the word? Weapon convergence. Which is scary when you think about it too much. All right. So looks like we have Eaton on the right side, who is the weapons commander. And is it Vortex Paladin? We have
It is
LPGK on the left
Yeah.
side for team brain damage. A question. Mechanically, the players who control the forts can also control the weapons, yes?
yes,
They are
I'm going off-
restricted not to
They're-
do
they're-
that, correct?
they're restricted not to do that. If it happens, it's fine as long as they're not doing it intentionally.
Okay.
If I really wanted it to be an absolute not a choice, I could have restricted it, but just to make it a little more normal. I
Okay.
didn't.
Understandable. Wow, that does seem a bit weapon convergency. Which is terrifying to think about. Okay.
I think it's a little more scary once we get into plasmas or cannons. We'll see.
Alright. I'm interested. I'm sure Eaton is just having the time of his life. It's just like his teammates gave him snipers. He just could go wild with snipers. He can just go ham and just enjoy terrorizing the rest of the world with nothing but snipers. It's so much fun to do. And it's so very effective. So very, very effective. So here we have the top player on the left team building plasma lasers, while the lower left player is going to be building cannons, though they don't have any place just yet. Looks like they're going to be going with the howitzer variant, so we will likely say howitzer out of the lower left player. Whereas on the right-hand side, both players are much further ahead in their build orders, as both players are going for the howitzer option. The lower right player, sorry, it has a howitzer 2/3 of the way completed with a cannon 1/4 completed. So we're going to see massive amounts of damage coming out from the lower right player, whereas the top right player only has a howitzer that's also 2/3 completed. No cannon yet, but does have a buzzsaw, which is, I'm sure, going to cause some damage here.
From what it looks like, what he's trying to do here is with the buzzsaw, he's trying to shoot under, or just like that, more or less, the weapon, because he has perfect accuracy. So if he clicks very accurately, he could probably kill that plasma from underneath.
Now, you say he has perfect accuracy. Does this mod remove the firing variance or affect the weapon?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
0 standard deviation. There's still cannon deviation, but when it comes to aiming at a particular point, it's very accurate.
Oh no. Well, that's terrifying to think about. Alright. Howitzer's firing. Massive damage. Uh-oh. Well, the first howitzers are fired, and the left team suffers horribly, losing a cannon and taking massive damage onto their remaining howitzer. Haha. Team Vortex on the left is going to have to eat a whole nother set of howitzer rounds, and that might just be it. Yeah, howitzer with a cannon follow-up. Left team, blue team, doesn't even get their howitzer completed before being completely destroyed by the right team's howitzers. Top left player did manage to fire their plasma and take out a couple mines from on the right side, but that's not going to be enough. It's 1 plasma versus 2 howitzers and a cannon. Wow, this buzzsaw still continues to ruin them. A beautiful howitzer hit, perfectly accurate, deep into the same tunnel created and dug out by that buzzsaw. Howitzer returns fire, actually leaves top right's howitzer exposed, but ooh, the laser tries to follow it up, but doesn't quite make it. Top left base is too unstable. It just wibbles and wobbles and doesn't make the concentrated connection it needs to actually deal damage. While there's just cannons, giant cannons and artillery rounds pummeling the left base. Massive damage, a huge repair bill. Some sniping from left team, hitting off, taking away some of the anti-air. Oh boy. It's a wonder the top left base is still alive. It's not well defended, but it is present. And it has weapons. Another laser shot. Oh, Noah, what have you done? The laser over-penetrates, goes clean through the base, missing anything of terrible importance except for the one brace holding the entire fort to the wall. With it, Noah, the bottom right base, falls to the ground. Now it is a 1v1, where one player is focused entirely on building and the other entirely on shooting. Oh, nearly a door snipe. That's a terrifying thought. But alas, the howitzer has enough doors in front of it that it just face saints the laser without too much of a concern. Another howitzer round collides. Massive damage. Top right's howitzer is exposed. This has gone from a round where the right team is dramatically in the lead to, well, it's looking like it might be a little closer. In fact, left team may have an advantage now. The one thing holding the left team back is their lack of energy production. They aren't devoid of energy production, but they do not have nearly enough turbines to upkeep the weapons they currently hold. A shotgun from the right side is enough to clear the skies of left's howitzer shells, so left is pretty much relegated to just their laser weaponry, which, while effective, isn't going to break the right team on its own. Buzzsaws from both sides just trimming away at some of the extraneous wood. The left team's base is still struggling to repair the damage it was dealt initially. It's not fully defended from heavy weapons and is barely defended from most things at this point, but they have stabilized somewhat, still risking a little bit. They really should invest in defending their base a bit more, but I find it unlikely that top left will explode entirely from a single shot. Vortex from the left team is saying that he can't shoot, but that I believe is intentional, as Vortex was eliminated with his fort. Another howitzer round from right. Slams the left, massive damage. Left team loses their howitzer from that shell. Left team only has one base in the top left, and with it, only 2 lasers, 1 fire beam, and 1 plasma. Will it be enough? So far, it's helped. It did remove 1 player already, so it can do some damage, but it's looking a little rough for them right now, as the right team has fully rebuilt, has also rebuilt the cannon and the howitzer that they have once lost, although the howitzer is not quite finished and ready to fire. The cannon round goes straight to the core. Actually, a beautiful shot, punching all the way through. This is the moment where top left, I think, realizes that they really, really need to invest more into their defense, because after they ate those first few howitzer rounds, they didn't quite get it rebuilt yet. And here comes another howitzer shell. Straight to the plasma laser. A direct hit, but it isn't enough to finish it. There's enough metal around it to keep it intact for the time being, although it's going to be a hefty repair bill. With 1 player per team. Remember, each base is controlled by an individual player, but that player can... Oh, a massive hit. A massive hit. The laser bypasses the defenses entirely around both the howitzer and the cannon, causing direct hits onto the cannon of the lower right area of the... And the explosion cascaded, destroying everything in that vicinity. But as I was saying, there is 1 player per team at this point who controls the entirety of the fort, except for the weapons. That player cannot fire the weapons, can only build, whereas the other remaining player cannot build but can only fire weapons. So we have a forced division of command throughout these forts, where we have Firework, who does all the building of all the things, like saying, constructing all of these snipers, and then we have Eaton, who does nothing but fire the snipers, and he himself cannot build. On the left side, we have Last Paladin doing all the building, and LPGK doing all the firing. Ooh, I don't think that cannon's long for this world. Another howitzer round. Solid hit. No serious damage was dealt. Last Paladin at the top left base has managed to rebuild and reconstruct once what was originally destroyed. Ooh, good damage. A cannon properly defended this time does simply face tank that laser with no issues. Buzzsaws flying to and fro, cleaving extraneous wood. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That didn't outright destroy the defenses, but it did deform them, and that caused some fairly significant dropping of important internal struts. But they do get it rebuilt. Swing and a miss. Don't know what's going on there. Probably a misfire. As we have Team Winner looking very solid in this. Team Winner having completed construction of the cannon. Oh, that's just an immediate punish. They're so greedy. Firework, you're so greedy. Just building that howitzer out in the open without defending it first. Gets immediately destroyed as another howitzer round comes in. Oh, with the door snipe, the laser opens just in time to have that howitzer round go clean down the barrel. Oh no. Team Brain Damage has no more weapons with massive damage to the core. The combined firepower of the howitzer round exploding next to the core, directly on top of the laser, and the laser's explosion as it itself is destroyed, deals large amounts of damage to the core, bringing it down to 46%, as again, another buzzsaw slices and destroys Team Winner's cannon. This is just looking... They keep rebuilding it in the same place, and they keep not properly defending it, and it keeps getting destroyed every single time. Oh no. As the buzzsaws, they do so much damage, but it looks like Team Brain Damage will be given the opportunity to rebuild. Uh-oh. Another buzzsaw, again, disconnects. The right-hand team, they're trying so hard to get damage in. They have the howitzer to break things open, but they don't have any follow-up. Every time they build a cannon or a second howitzer or something to get follow-up damage, they just don't defend it enough, and it gets destroyed. So at this point, they're trying to use buzzsaws to break through, using the howitzer to open it up and just buzzsaw on the inside, but usually howitzers, they're not great at breaking metal, so they don't crack open the metal. But that is enough. This time the howitzer alone was enough to punch through. Team Winner with the victory. Well played, well played. Oh, jeez. That was an amazing match. That one was good. That one was definitely good. It is an interesting dynamic when you have a player who does nothing but dedicated to weapons. Because it's like it feels a lot more like an AI match where you just always have snipers going around. There's always something happening, as opposed to just waiting for the perfect timing. I'm okay with this. As we go to set up the next match. Alright, so up next, we will have Team... Oh boy. Pro Bra Team versus Rundfunk. We'll see how that goes. See you in a moment. So I believe this is the same rules as the previous match, yes?
It is.
Excellent. So we'll have
Same
three.
now?
Yes.
Same rule.
So we will have 3 players where 2 of the players each own their own fort, and the third player does nothing but fire their weapons. Which I think is a really cool mechanic, by the way. Like, it's a really cool idea. Which map are we going to be on this time?
Up and down.
All right. So we're setting up the lobby now. By that I mean we're doing bands. Looks like we lost a team.
They are regional ID.
Okay. Run the funk. It's kind of a fun word to say.
Very.
Okay. All right. Looks like the bands are completed. Good lord, the pings, they're all over the place. Hmm. All right then. I feel like this kind of explanation is the thing that should happen before the lobby.
Well, Well, this
I know.
particular game thing. I'll actually clarify. This particular game, was. One second. Sorry. This particular game mode was originally going to be something a little different, but I've had some problems with desyncs, so I quickly swapped it over to something like this instead. It was a last-minute thing, basically.
Makes sense. Well, I will say this. Nice work with it. It seems quite popular. Like, even Eaton is in general chat saying he wants to play with his mods some more because it's fun. Alright then. It looks like everyone's readied up. Almost readied up. But the match is made, the settings are good, so whenever the players finish readying up, we shall get started here. Do I like any turn-based strategy games like Civilization? Not Civilization specifically. I'm not against turn-based strategy at all. I just tend to not find them as appealing as real-time, personally. When am I going to play Star Sector again? I've been keeping an eye on it. There's a fair few updates that have been going around since the last time I played. Honestly, it's a few things broke in terms of mods and support for that, which made me less interested in doing content for it. But it's a very good game in terms of just playing. Like, it's top. We're doing some more clarification, for those wondering, we're doing some more clarification of the chaotic rules for this match, just to make sure the players understand what's going to be happening when we get into the match, as it was kind of a last minute and not particularly well explained mechanic. It is also somewhat complicated, so we're making sure to go over the rules with everyone and explain before we actually start the match, just to make sure we don't have anyone who's left out. Left out or confused. Have I heard of the new Cosmeteer game? I haven't played Cosmeteer since we did the last playthrough. But yes, I'm aware. I've seen its updates. It's got a lot of updates, actually. The Chaos series starts to go out of control again. Yes! Alright then. I think we are about good to go here. We only have one player left to ready up, and then we'll start it. Lily Requiem. Welcome, welcome. Oh. Hey, there we go. All right. The players are ready. Match is set. Let's do this. And here we go. And we're off. The players are selecting their forts and deciding who gets to fire the weapons, who gets to build, who gets to fire, and we've started. So here on the left-hand side, we have Team Rundfunk facing off against their opponents, the Probra team. I'm not quite certain who is dedicated on weapons and who is dedicated builder for each team, at least not yet. Perhaps we shall see soon. Okay. I believe the Kenage player from Probra team was... He, in the lobby, claimed that he wanted to be the one firing weapons, which would leave Haurasi and Gonnet, no, Hunter, as the builders. I do not know who is firing weapons and who is building on the left team, on the Rundfunk team. There is Royal Master. There is Benabenman. And Gonets. Gonets? Let's see. I believe Benabenman is the one firing weapons for Team Rundfunk, which would seem that Gonets would be the second builder. So we have a bit of a dangle for Probra here, the lower right base. Getting quite large with it. Whereas on the left team, the blue team, Team Rundfunk, looks like a fairly standard missile rush combined with a fairly standard laser rush. Very effective. Is that sniper an AI? No. That would be their third player. So the way this works is that there are 3 players per team. But this is a team deathmatch, so each player gets their own base. But wait, there are only 2 bases. That's correct. Each base is controlled by a single player. However, because there are 3 players on the team, the third player controls the weapons and the weapons only. So you have one player who does nothing but control the weapons, and one player who does nothing but control the lower base, and one player who does nothing but control the upper base, where each player who controls the bases does not control their own weapons. So they're able to, for example, Haurasi has placed 2 snipers here, but he does not control the snipers. His third player controls the snipers. Which is a really interesting mechanic, I think. Like, I really like it.
Can definitely see a little bit of struggle with the random firing, just because it does not act quite as a normal forge would. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, but that just adds to the chaos. It just makes it even better.
Everyone's learning on the fly how to use this new setup. This is actually the kind of thing I would be cool to see in vanilla. Just this kind of mod. Like, that's... I don't know how you came up with that idea. Like, that's good. Okay. And there you have it. Fleck. With the nuke lands. Okay. So, I believe there was an issue with the third player not being able to fire those nukes.
Yeah, I just forgot to set it up correctly.
Ah, okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
It is absolutely doable, but, you know, a little bit of a time restriction, so my fault.
Yes. Understandable. As... Oh, he's gonna make it. Oh, beautiful. That was actually incredibly well played by the lower right base here. Placing a sandbag out in the open space to cause the nuke to detonate early, instead of getting deep in there and causing massive damage. Just like how he's just sniping, like the whole time. Just constant sniping. Oh, but he misses the laser though. That's unfortunate. As more missiles are fired. The first nuke gets taken out. The second one goes drunk. And goes wild. No serious damage dealt. We see the buzzsaws making another appearance. Always terrifying. And more missiles launched. I appreciate that they are staggering their fire such that the flak doesn't take both missiles out at the same time. You're guessing there's a aiming limitation. You don't see how one could miss with the laser.
Well, the biggest reason is the cursor. It's not on the center of the cursor that you're aiming. It's right on the edge. So that's a little confusing.
It's a little difficult sometimes to aim weapons. Not everyone lands at every single shot. You know, people miss sometimes. It happens. It's part of the game. Oh boy. Managed to almost snipe that fire beam. That bottom right base is huge. It's a little bit chunky. It's taking up a lot of space. Okay. Oh. Looks like the fire beam fired and got fired upon in the process. Getting sniped out by the counter sniping, the door sniping of the right team. This is terrifying. Snipers, they're kind of the counter to fire beams. If you have someone just on the sniper at all times, it's incredibly effective. As here comes EMP, shutting down the top base entirely. With buzzsaws to do some damage. We should have the plasma coming through. We do. Getting through all of that, all of those energy shields. EMP flying and landing. EMPs are just so dangerous if they're left alone. That's so much AA. That's just so much anti-air. Okay. Another plasma. Oh, that cuts so deep. That almost causes a collapse of the entirety of Rundfunk's upper left base. The fire beam penetrates anyways, destroying the plasma. Top left base is having a real rough time over here. As, well, generally speaking, the right team bases are getting massive. On all fronts. On all sides, really. As the nukes fly and make it in, cutting through all of the anti-air. Oh jeez. Actually, it did a lot of damage. It's not being repaired just yet. Lower right base hasn't repaired the damage from the last set of nukes. There he goes. Now he's getting it set up. As more fire beam. Devastating. Top left base has no more weapons. They've all been completely shut down. As the nuke might land again. Oh, it snakes between the bullets and the sandbags. Oh, jeez. That's just a lot of damage. Like, it just took a chunk out of the base. Look at that. Just a gaping hole where once there were things. Wow. Plasma's firing. The only weapons in the left side... okay. The only weapons on the left side are those two nukes. And they're getting some damage done, but it's not a lot of damage. Or rather, should I say, it's not a lot of damage compared to the size of the base that it's slamming into. Because, I mean, that took a chunk out, but it's so chunky. The entire base, it just doesn't care about that kind of chunking. It's like, oh no, just take out an entire heaping load of my fort? That's fine, doesn't matter. I've got many-fold more where that comes from. Oh, the cannon. Ever consistent, just slamming through the front. More missiles coming through, managing to, again, snake its way through the sandbags, which is just amazing. You don't see that every day, until it happens twice in a single match. Rockets landing, shotguns landing. This is, looking not great for the left team. Not great at all. So, it is something to be careful of. These warheads, they can always deal game-ending amounts of damage. Like, that did core damage, and did absolutely devastating damage to the right side. It's just, the chances of it actually doing that kind of damage, not particularly high, especially given the randomness of the trajectory of the missiles, as well as the amount of AA, of anti-air, that the right-hand side actually has, between the flak and machine gunners and such. So, left team isn't out of it, but, like, they're a little behind in weapons and firepower, and map control, and just about everything else. There's no way! That sucker's just going clean through the sandbags as if they weren't there, dealing even more damage to the core. Core's down at 14%. It cannot take another hit like that. It's crazy. It's wild. It's absurd. It shouldn't be happening. That's not... That's entirely what nukes do, like, so often. It just happens. Ugh. It's wild. But hey, you know, think he's just hardwalling everything so the nuke can't have an opportunity to go through. It will detonate. As we have 2 more missiles firing. Those get immediately shut down by the anti-air. Oh. This is what the EMPs were for, to deal with those energy shields. Top left base has a great many energy shields. And they are keeping him alive at this point. Because he's getting hammered by lasers. Looks like bottom left fort is actually managing to progress, finally placing a cannon of his own. Looking like they'll get some actual damage done. It looks like with all the damage that the nukes have managed to sneak in through, have really managed to put Team 2 on the back foot here, at least the lower base. The top base is still growing, and dealing quite a lot of damage to the top base and left. These nukes, they've been making it through and causing, frankly, debilitating damage to the bottom right base. It's really kind of gotten like 50-50 here. Like, the top bases dominated by the right side, while the bottom bases are dominated by the left. That top base is terrifying. It really is. And it's got so much map control, hasn't even put doors of any kind or any protection. Like, these are literally all exposed weapons, and he's not been punished for it. So the moment that anyone does any firing at the top right base is the moment the top right base dies. Like, that's just how that works. Just a matter of time until someone does that. We'll see how long that is. Because, you know, top base here does have a sniper, which is actually just enough to kill off right base right now. Just because of all the exposed weapons. Nuke doesn't have an opportunity to snake the sandbags. The sandbags are hard-walled. I think they're, I think one of the players on the left side, the player who shoots weapons, I think he's forgotten how to shoot weapons, where once he was shooting weapons, he's no longer doing so. As there are multiple weapons available on the left side now, let's say these machine gunners and snipers, which are not being used at all. There's minigunners. The cannon isn't available yet. It makes me wonder what's going on in the left team. Oh, the sniper's being used, and with it takes out a couple of the heavy weapons from the right side. That's all it took. Hey, there we go. Now top right base is having to defend itself. Get doors, because otherwise it's just going to die. As the nukes come flying again. This time they don't make it. Okay. Ooh, cannon scary. For both teams. Alright, so now it's just a matter of time before one of these teams manages to get the hit they need. As the only base that's particularly well defended is the lower left base, as it has weapons to fire back and an actual defense against the weapons of the other team. Top left, it doesn't have any way of defending itself other than just being thick with ablative armor. Whereas bottom right base is vulnerable to the AoE of nukes right now, and is kind of... It's got one cannon and one portal cannon, which kind of sort of works. Is not in a great position. The top right base, it's just not well defended. It's relying on the fact that it's not being shot at in order to live. But it is fielding an ungodly amount of damage, which is nice. As more nukes fly and are completely shut down. Oh ho ho, all 3 miniguns fire and all 3 minigun salvos are burned out of the sky by the fire beam. And that's a shutdown. Howitzer, beautiful shot. He's got the plasma to follow up. Fire beam tries. Plasma also tries. But no real follow-up is made. Nuke lands. Nuke lands. No serious damage dealt. They landed on the extremities after getting... The nukes went drunk and went wayward, landing at the extremities, hitting a few sandbags and a couple machine gunners, but nothing of critical importance. Oh boy, another howitzer lands. That'll leave the path open for the plasmas. Actually a good shot, but unfortunately the howitzer didn't do enough damage, meaning those energy shields are still online, leaving the top left base immune to the follow-up lasers. Here come the nukes once more into the fray. Nuke goes through a few sandbags and gets it in there deep before exploding, but again. Deep in the ablative armor just causes some substantial repair costs, but nothing serious was lost. As the buzzsaw, as always, doing more than you would expect it to. Cutting deep, but deep into easily replaceable wood. Howitzer once more fires. Is actually defended this time. Shot down out of the sky by the machine gunners of the left team. Ooh. A beautiful laser takes out multiple machine gunners from their relative safety of the trench. Good lord, does so much damage. The plasma just cuts so deep. The howitzer fires, and this time with no machine gunners. It collides. And collides into top left's hastily built laser platform. Looks like top left is selling off his laser that he just constructed. Looks like he knows full well that he can't defend it against the raw firepower that is top right. Oh, one nuke gets drunk, the other shut down. Oh, that could have been devastating. A nuke launched at bottom right goes drunk and nearly hits the weak spot of top right. Oh, boy, that was rough. Solid hit, massive damage. Or would have been if top left hadn't sold his weapons. Another howitzer round. Top right has 2 howitzers at this point. It's a little damaging, especially with the plasma laser follow-up. It looks like top right is selling off his lasers, actually, at least one of them. Nuke slams into the ablative armor. No real damage dealt. Uh-oh. Howitzer from above. That's a hefty chunk of damage. The howitzer took out some anti-air, but nothing serious. Uh-oh. Lasers from above. That's going to be potentially devastating damage. Directly hitting the cannon. It looks like top right has had enough of bottom left bullying the lower base. He's here to save his friend. And has very nearly managed to completely shut down bottom left's, at least his cannon. Oh, good lord, the howitzers that deal so much damage. Bottom left is trying to sell his cannon, but not fast enough. The triple howitzer comes in. Massive damage. Bottom left is completely disconnected and sliced from his hanging fort and falls into the abyss below. Team left loses a player, with only 1 player remaining on a base with no weapons and a massively deformed front end. This match is on a timer. It looks like this whole time the bottom right base has been tanking, not firing, but instead it's been building his weapons behind. And now it is no longer under the nuclear firepower of bottom left. Has simply added portals to his front so he can portal his weapons forward, and now top left is going to have to suffer the fury of the combined firepower of these 2 chonkers of bases. The first howitzer fires from bottom right, swing and a miss. With 2 more cannons to follow behind that, we should see some more firepower coming out of here. But top right still has 3 howitzers, a plasma, and a fire beam. Like, that alone is enough to remove top right, or top left. Look at that. Beautiful shells. 2 of them in this exact same spot. 3 in the exact same spot, and that is enough to bring about anything down, and so it is. Team Pro Bra comes out with a victory. Well played.
All right. That was the last match, as we don't have any ties.
right then. So now we get to put all the scores together. Do we have the, is that being kept in a challenge somewhere? 'Cause I couldn't find a link for that.
Yes. I'll put it in general. A very, very clean 3-2-0, 3-2-1-0.
Oh. And so that was actually the last match, as it were, then, yes?
Yep.
Sweet. So we have, so that in all of its chaos went very well. I really like that, by the way, the team deathmatch with one player firing the weapons. But we do have our rankings here. We have team winner, unsurprisingly, going undefeated with a 3-0. Pro Brit team coming in a close second, having only dropped one match. I'm impressed with Pro Brit team. Like, they showed up in the last official tournament, made a name for themselves, and now they're just here, coming in second behind the unbalanced team, the stacked team that is team winner. Very, very well played. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Flinnshadow's Controlled Chaos show matches competition, and it's very well done. I would say a big shout out to Flinnshadow, who built most of the mods and several of the maps, putting all of this content together and running the behind the scenes of putting this all together just for us to showcase and to create this beautiful content for the community. Big shout out to Flynn, one of the better content creators here in the Twitch community. And also shout out to Bonwo, who's casting this and showing this off in the native German tongue. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to winner, and thank you for participating, Pro Bro Team, Brain Damage, and Rundfunk. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Is there anything you wanted to say, Flinnshadow, before we head out?
Well, I'm fairly happy. No game-breaking glitches. It was pretty good. Overall, I'm looking forward to the next one, which will be the finals, and hopefully seeing if we can get a badge for that. Taking all the victors from previous. But overall, thanks a lot. Very fun.
Excellent. My pleasure. It's always a good time. All right then. I will see you next time. All right, chat. It has been a great stream here. I look forward to watching all these back myself. But for now, we will be doing our usual stream a bit later tonight at our typical stream time. So make sure to check back for that. But for now, I will be shutting things down for a little bit until we get to our usual stream time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys on Twitch off to another content creator. And for those guys at YouTube, catch you guys later. All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to send you